Welcome back to the battles between Sentry and Thor. Comparing the power levels of Sentry and Thor is one of the most heated debates in the Marvel Comics fan community. Both are ranked among the most powerful superheroes, with feats that are almost unbelievable. However, the nature of their powers is extremely different. On one side is nearly limitless but unstable cosmic power, and on the other is divine power honed through millennia of combat experience. To determine who would win in a showdown, we need to conduct an in-depth analysis of the origins of their powers, abilities, weaknesses, and most notable feats. Before we dive into the analysis, please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me, and thank you very much. Let's start by taking a closer look at each warrior.
Sentry, Robert Reynolds, known by the alias Sentry, is one of the most complex and tragic characters in the Marvel Universe. What would happen if an ordinary man, an addict, plagued by anxiety and suffering from a severe mental disorder, suddenly gained nearly limitless power? Sentry is a superhero whose power rivals that of cosmic entities, yet he is held back by his own fragile mind. Sentry's powers stem from a scientific experiment that spiraled out of control. In an attempt to recreate the super soldier serum that created Captain America, Robert Reynolds, then a drug-addicted college student, broke into a laboratory and drank an experimental formula. This formula, known as the Golden Sentry Serum, interacted with his body in ways no one could have predicted. Instead of merely reaching the pinnacle of human potential like Captain America, Robert became a vessel for a power that was nearly impossible to measure. The formula connected him to a mysterious source of energy, allowing him to harness power equivalent to 1,000,000 exploding suns. However, the price for this power was horrific. Sentry's power was not merely physical, it was also a manifestation of his psyche. Along with his extraordinary power, Robert's mind also gives rise to the Void, a dark entity representing all the shadows within his soul. The Void is the embodiment of destruction, chaos, and pure evil. The bond between the Sentry and the Void is unbreakable. They are two sides of the same coin, and the more Robert uses his power, the stronger the Void becomes. This creates a tragic paradox. The most powerful hero is also the greatest threat to the very world he has sworn to protect. What makes Sentry particularly terrifying is not just his raw power, but also the diversity and versatility of his skill set. Sentry has demonstrated some of the highest levels of physical strength in the Marvel Universe. He has torn Ares, a god of war, in half with his bare hands, punched the Hulk hard enough to make the Green Giant back down, and even wrestled with World War Hulk himself in his stable form. It's worth noting that in most of these confrontations, Sentry typically doesn't fight at his full power because he must constantly suppress the Void. When no longer restrained, Sentry's power seems to have no clear limits. He can move and react at speeds far exceeding the speed of light. He has flown from Earth to the Sun in the blink of an eye, caught up with objects moving at superluminal speeds, and executed attacks so fast that even superheroes with superhuman reflexes cannot keep up. This speed, combined with his physical strength, makes Sentry a nearly unstoppable force of destruction in close combat. Sentry, he survived being completely disintegrated at the molecular level, regenerating himself from nothing. Morgan Le Fay, an extremely powerful sorceress, once attempted to destroy Sentry by erasing him from reality, but he still returned. Even when his body is completely destroyed, Sentry's consciousness persists and can recreate his physical form. This immortality seems limited only by Robert's own mind. If he believes he can die, perhaps he will die. But if not, nothing can destroy him permanently. Sentry can emit devastating energy blasts from his eyes and hands, create protective force fields, and manipulate matter at the subatomic level. He has used his powers to neutralize extremely powerful opponents, including paralyzing Terrax, a former herald of Galactus. Sentry's energy can be adjusted to inflict damage, exert control, or even soothe an opponent's mind. Sentry possesses powerful psychic abilities, allowing him to read minds, manipulate memories, and even penetrate the minds of powerful beings. The most terrifying of these abilities is his power to erase memories. Sentry has even caused the entire world, including the most powerful superheroes, to forget his very existence. This is not only a testament to his psychic prowess, but also demonstrates that Sentry can manipulate perception on a global scale. He also has the ability to sense threats from a distance and witness events unfolding in other parts of the world. When Robert loses control and the Void emerges, his power becomes more destructive than ever. The Void can warp reality, create structures from pure darkness, and exhibit a level of cruelty far beyond that of the normal Sentry. In the Void state, he is nearly invulnerable and tends to attack his opponents psychologically, exploiting their deepest fears. This makes the Void not only a physical threat but also a psychological one to anyone who dares to confront him. Despite possessing nearly invincible power, Sentry has two fatal weaknesses that can be exploited. Robert Reynolds suffers from severe anxiety, depression, and a fear of empty spaces. He frequently doubts himself and fears his own power. An opponent who is clever enough and skilled in psychological manipulation can cause Sentry to lose focus, weaken his will to fight, or worse yet, trigger the emergence of the Void. When Sentry doubts himself, his power diminishes significantly. Conversely, when he is confident and stable, he is nearly unbeatable. The Void is not merely a separate entity, but an inseparable part of Sentry. Every time Robert uses his powers, the Void grows stronger. In a prolonged battle against a worthy opponent like Thor, Sentry will be forced to use more and more of his power, which could lead to the Void spiraling out of control. When this happens, the battle is no longer Sentry versus Thor, but Void versus Thor, and Void, unlike Sentry, has no moral or psychological restraints. Now let's talk about Thor, the god of thunder of Asgard. If Sentry represents the raw, unstable, and volatile power of a human endowed with cosmic powers, then Thor is the embodiment of divine power forged over thousands of years. As the son of Odin, the All-Father of Asgard, and Gaia, the ancient goddess of the earth, Thor possesses a dual heritage that makes him one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe. Unlike the Sentry, Thor's power is not an accident or a curse. It is an inheritance, a destiny, and a responsibility he has spent his entire life mastering. Thor's power stems from three primary sources, each contributing to his status as one of the greatest warriors. First is his dual heritage. As the son of Odin, Thor inherits the power of the Asgardians, a supernatural race with physical attributes that far surpass those of humans in every respect. But Thor is not merely an Asgardian. His mother is Gaia, the ancient earth goddess, one of the oldest primordial entities in the Marvel Universe. Gaia's blood grants Thor a deep connection to the planet Earth itself and all of its natural forces. This unique combination makes Thor a god far superior to most of his peers. He is stronger, more resilient, and has a connection to primal forces that even Odin must respect. Second is the divine power, also known as Odin's power. This is the divine energy that flows through the veins of all Asgardians, but in Thor, it is particularly potent due to his dual heritage. Divine power fuels all of Thor's superhuman abilities, and unlike most other Asgardians, Thor can tap into his divine power even in the most distant realms, far from Asgard. This means Thor is never truly cut off from his source of power. Third, and perhaps most iconic, is Mjolnir, the mythical hammer forged from Uru metal at the core of a dying star. Mjolnir is one of the most powerful weapons ever created in the Marvel Universe. It is not only a tool for Thor to channel and amplify his natural strength, but it also possesses extraordinary abilities of its own. Mjolnir is virtually indestructible, can only be wielded by those deemed worthy, and embodies the magic of Odin himself. The hammer allows Thor to fly at speeds far exceeding the speed of light, open interdimensional portals, absorb and release virtually any form of energy, and even manipulate time to a certain extent. Even without Mjolnir, Thor remains one of the physically strongest beings in the universe, with an innate ability to control the weather and enough physical strength to go head-to-head with creatures like the Hulk or even the Sentry himself. Thor is the god of strength of Asgard, and this title is no exaggeration. He has demonstrated physical strength on par with the Hulk at his most enraged, destroyed planets with mere punches, and lifted objects with masses equivalent to celestial bodies. Thor once battled the Midgard serpent, a colossal creature large enough to wrap itself around the Earth, and defeated it. He has shattered dimensional barriers with brute force, punched holes through reality, and even shaken the entire Marvel Universe with his blows. What makes Thor's power particularly dangerous in battle is that it doesn't come solely from his muscles, but is also amplified by his divine power and iron will. Thor's body is composed of tissue many times denser than that of humans, and he is nearly immune to all forms of conventional physical damage. Thor has survived explosions with the destructive power of a supernova, endured the heat of stars, and continued to fight even while severely wounded. On one occasion, Thor was hurled into the core of the sun, and not only survived, but also used its energy to boost his strength. He is immune to most poisons, diseases, and even types of radiation that would kill most other living beings. This resilience, combined with his unyielding will, makes Thor an extremely difficult opponent to defeat. As the god of thunder, Thor possesses the ability to control the weather on a massive scale. He can summon storms, create tornadoes, control lightning, and even generate planetary-scale weather phenomena. Thor has used this power to create storms that engulf the entire Earth, unleash bolts of lightning powerful enough to injure even cosmic entities, and manipulate atmospheric pressure to crush his opponents. But Thor's abilities aren't limited to the weather. As the son of Gaia, he also has a connection to the Earth itself and can control elements such as earth, rock, and even magma. Even without Mjolnir, Thor can move at superhuman speeds, but with his hammer, he can fly faster than light. Thor has traveled between galaxies in mere moments, caught up with objects moving at superluminal speeds, and executed attacks so fast that even opponents with super speed couldn't react in time. This combination of flight and speed gives Thor a massive tactical advantage on the battlefield. He can attack from any direction, dodge incoming blows, and control the distance in battle at will. Mjolnir allows Thor to absorb virtually any form of energy and reuse it for attack or defense. Thor has absorbed energy from cosmic explosions, stellar radiation, the magic of powerful sorcerers, and even the power of cosmic entities. As a god, Thor possesses superior self-healing abilities. He can recover from severe injuries in a short time, regenerate lost limbs, and even survive injuries that would kill most other beings. Thor's healing abilities operate on a divine level. He has fought for thousands of years, facing every kind of opponent from Asgardian warriors and frost giants to fire demons, cosmic entities, and gods from other pantheons. He is a master of war tactics, a warrior thoroughly trained in every form of Asgardian combat, and possesses such extensive combat experience that there is virtually no battle scenario he has not encountered. Thor can also wield Asgardian magic. Although he is not a sorcerer in the traditional sense, Thor can cast protective spells, dispel curses, and even communicate with spiritual entities. Mjolnir also embodies Odin's powerful magic, allowing Thor to perform feats such as time travel, open interdimensional portals, and even resurrect the dead in certain cases. Despite his extraordinary strength, Thor is not without weaknesses. While he remains extremely powerful, even without his hammer, Mjolnir is still a crucial part of his skill set. If separated from Mjolnir for an extended period, Thor loses his ability to fly, his ability to absorb energy, and certain magical abilities provided by the hammer. Although Thor has extremely high resistance to most forms of damage, he can still be harmed by extremely powerful magic or divine weapons, specifically designed to counter the Asgardians. Thor has learned to control these aspects of himself much better than in the past. Now that we have a comprehensive overview of both warriors' capabilities, both Thor and Sentry have demonstrated physical strength on a level capable of destroying planets. Sentry tore Ares, a god of war, in two and punched the Hulk so hard that the Green Giant was forced to retreat. Thor has battled the Midgard Serpent, destroyed celestial bodies, and shaken the entire Marvel Universe. In terms of raw power, the two are nearly equal, though each has their own impressive feats. However, there is one key difference. Sentry's power fluctuates depending on his mental state, while Thor's power is stable and supported by the power of the gods. In a prolonged battle, this stability gives Thor the edge. Reaction speed. Both can move and react at superluminal speeds. Sentry has flown to the sun and back in the blink of an eye, while Thor, wielding Mjolnir, can travel between galaxies. In terms of pure speed, Sentry likely holds a slight advantage due to his ability to fly without propulsion, but in actual combat, this difference is negligible. Both can react to each other's attacks. Durability. Both Thor and Sentry are virtually indestructible. Thor survived being hurled into the sun's core, while Sentry regenerated after being disintegrated at the molecular level. However, Sentry's survivability appears to be slightly superior. He has survived events that even Thor might struggle with, such as being erased from reality by Morgan Le Fay. On the other hand, Thor has the advantage in combat experience and pain tolerance. He has fought through horrific injuries without flinching. Offensive capabilities. Both possess devastating long-range attack capabilities. Sentry can fire energy blasts from his eyes and hands, while Thor can summon lightning and storms. However, Thor holds a clear advantage in this regard thanks to Mjolnir. The hammer allows Thor to absorb energy from Sentry's attacks and counter with multiplied force. If Sentry fires an energy blast, Thor can use Mjolnir to absorb it and return it, a tactic he has successfully employed against many other powerful opponents. mentality, Thor possesses a nearly unbreakable will, forged through thousands of years of battle. He never gives up, never backs down, and is willing to sacrifice everything to protect what he believes in. In contrast, Sentry is a man tormented by mental instability, constantly doubting himself and fearing his own power. In a prolonged battle, as the pressure mounts, there is a high likelihood that Sentry will lose control and allow the Void to emerge. And while the Void is extremely dangerous, it is also a double-edged sword. It can attack indiscriminately, making Sentry unpredictable, but also more vulnerable to counterattacks. In the early stages of the battle, both will exchange devastating blows. Sentry, with power equivalent to 1,000,000 exploding suns, will inflict significant damage on Thor. But Thor, with his divine durability and extraordinary pain tolerance, will continue to fight. He will use Mjolnir to absorb Sentry's energy blasts and return them with multiplied force, while also using his weather manipulation abilities to create adverse conditions for his opponent. As the battle drags on, Sentry's greatest weakness will begin to surface. The pressure of facing a worthy opponent like Thor will worsen Sentry's already unstable mental state. He will begin to doubt himself, and his power will waver. Thor, with his keen warrior's instincts, will recognize this and exploit it. He'll attack not only with physical strength but also with words, challenging Sentry's will and pushing him into a state of losing control. After a thorough analysis, I've come to the conclusion that in a standard battle between Thor and Sentry, Thor would emerge victorious, although it would be an extremely difficult and potentially protracted battle. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all very much.